SouFLoTV, why you keep doing these stories about people being killed like people are dead everywhere else? Listen, we have to keep highlighting these stories, you see, so that they're not swept under the rug and forgotten, so that people are reminded constantly that the place is messed up and needs to be fixed inside out, top to bottom. You understand? 16-year-old shot dead in West Kingston. Now, Jacqueline Dunkley, she is overcome with grief as she recalls getting news of the fatal shooting of her son, Andre Dixon, on Friday. Man, listen, he was shot at the intersection of Beachford and Pecan Street in downtown Kingston. Dixon would have celebrated his 17th birthday on July 26th. Just a few days ago. Today is August 1st, as I am reading this. A grief-stricken Jacqueline Dunkley says that she is bewildered as to why her 16-year-old son, Andre Dixon, was brutally murdered by gunmen Friday night at the corner of Pecan and Beckford Street in downtown Kingston. Andre would have turned 17 later this month. I am not familiar with the area of downtown Kingston so much, but as far as what I know, it doesn't look like a place where I would hang out. But then again, I wasn't born and raised there. And if I was born and raised there, I probably would be one of the 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds that are hanging out somewhere around there. I mean, where else are they going to hang out? It's not like down a country where we have a whole heap of land space for run up and down. It's a concrete jungle. And in a concrete jungle, the children will still find place to play if it's even in the middle of the street. Right? Now, Andre would have turned 17 years old. The 26th of July, 2020. Now, according to the police corporate communication unit, both Dixon and a vendor were hit when two gunmen just pounced upon them, opened fire. After half an hour after the nationwide 11 p.m. curfew took effect. Half an hour after the nationwide 11 p.m. curfew took effect. So there was a curfew in place. And it was past curfew time when this young man should have been in him yard. He was pronounced dead at the hospital and the woman was admitted for treatment. Kingston Western, a compact high-density area, is the seventh bloodiest police division in Jamaica for 2020 in raw numbers, but has recorded the second highest rise in murders island-wide. So this is the volatile community that this youth is being raised in. So it's no surprise that he lost his life in here, especially what was his business being out a road after curfew set in place, because we've seen the curfew set in place and we've seen people running like crazy, taking it for a joke and running like crazy when the soldier jeep them a fly through. Some of them we've even seen being chased because they're not supposed to be out past the curfew. That does not excuse someone taking his life or justify it, but sometimes you put yourself in certain situations. Whoever wanted to get him, though, I have a feeling would have gotten him outside of curfew time when it was normal time to be out anyways, because of the manner in which this went down. Now, several children, including an 8-year-old girl, have been slain in ongoing gang violence this year in this area. Police data shows that murders have climbed from 31 to 50, or by 61% year on year, up to, if comparing June 27th of 2020 to June 27th of 2019 in comparison, with shootings rising by 37% from 35 to 48 shootings in this area alone. I just did another story, 70 people gone in that time space alone, and now in this other area of Jamaica, 48. shootings. A state of emergency has been imposed in the division on June 14th, but that has not staunched the bloodletting. Now, we are back to asking again, is the state of emergency effective? Dunkley told the Gleaner that Andre was not, if he had not gone to that corner after an argument at their Beckford Street tenement home, he would still be alive today and preparing to sit the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate examinations this month at Vauxhall High School, where he was a student even up to the time of his death. So he was prepping to sit his exams. There was an argument that broke out inside of his home, as they described it, a tenement yard home. An argument broke out in there. You see, when children are having to be raised in and have to survive these types of living, like just even their immediate circle and environment, a lot of the times children who end up in gang affairs and end up in wrongs out in the streets, it's because their home situation. Now, I'm not saying there are not arguments in even prissy, posh homes, but I'm saying when you're already from a volatile community and your family itself is not stable, the youth go walk out an argument, go breeze out, come out of the yard before him do somebody something or somebody do him something in there, that kind of a feeling, and walked into his death. The teenager had been living with his dad recently, but he had just returned to Beckford Street to prepare for his exams. The argument in the yard had nothing to do with the shooting. Them sit down and talk, not knowing say gunman a come. Him did out there like how the rest of the youth them would have just normally be out there. This is what his mother said. Her face a straight portrait of pain and grief. Him get shot in him head and him drop on him back, and then them go over there and stand up over him and shoot him up. So you can see, people, this wasn't no we just come and randomly fire gunshots and leave. This is I came for you. She said him get shot in him head and him drop on him back. What a graphic description of seeing your son. And then them go over him and shoot him up some more. Dunkley recalls her son, a cadet at Vauxhall, took his last glance at her while she hugged him before he became totally unresponsive. Andre has been described as a normal student and a social person. Never give no trouble in a school. He got along very well with his classmates and was very liked by his teachers even. That just pains my heart, man. That just pains my heart because it's a different story. Although a loss is a loss, but it's a different story. Let me finish this article. They at the school tried to comfort me the best way possible. She said, Andre, he was easy to get along with. I want to find out for myself why somebody would have really want to slaughter my child in this brutal way. If he was into gun and gun violence, it wouldn't hurt me so much because I would say, well, at least you got your pay for what you have been doing or for what you did. But it hurt to the core because he's nothing like that. You see? And in those situations, I was going to say, let me close by saying it like this. It's always easier, not that it's right or justifiable, but always much easier when, as a family member, we have gunmen in Jamaica where it got to a point where their family members started praying for them to die because the family themselves can't get no peace. Because when bad man go after you, and you are bad man too, and bad man can't find you, they go after your family. You can't catch Quack or catch him shot is a very real thing that in Jamaica, you understand? That's the principles of the streets right there. That is why they say, if you're going to go to war, or if you're going to take up bad man thing, you better make sure some mommy and the rest of your family is secured in an area where nobody don't know which part them there. But you see, when this kind of a thing going on, it's easier when you have a madhead family member that is just real bare trouble and evil. You love them still because they're blood, and you probably grew up close with them and they turned out differently. But when their end comes, and it comes violently, it is more easier to accept. Boy, him did out there live that kind of life that, you know, we talk to him, it just never reach him. Him choose him part. And that is what it is. Whoa, we are going to ball a funeral. But then we will accept it better. But when it's a young youth that is trying his best to survive the zinc fence and concrete circumstances and situations, navigating his way, trying to become these things that he has in his head, as we all do as children, our dreams and visions. Me I grow up and be one teacher, you know. Me I grow up and turn soldier man. What you want to do, Jamie? Me I go fly out and do this and that. You know, those dreams. He's trying to navigate his way through all that and have to deal with all the other stuff going on around him. 48 shootings in just a couple of months. People are dead left, right, and center. Gang feud going on. The place he's living in is under curfew. Not because of COVID, but because of violence. Police have to step in and soldiers have to step in into your immediate living environment and take away the freedom of the citizens there. Limit them and tell them, say, you have to be locked up in your house by this time. You can't come out till this time. And the youth navigating, getting ready to go take his exams. And because of issues in his house, he walked out, got breeze out in brain, and lost his life like that. I don't know what he's involved in. And like I said before, I don't put nothing past nobody, because I've seen situations where the killers are very young. You understand? This could be retaliation for something else. But this can't be just off an argument, even though it has gotten to that point where the youth them not take no check again. They don't even know how to have a civil conversation with each other. And even if the conversation turns into an argument and gets heated, a lot of them don't even know how to end that conversation amicably. It has to end in violence if you do not agree with me. That mentality. This your mother mentality. You understand? And that is what we're dealing with right now. It's sad, man. It's sad. And I'll say it again and again and again. Government not doing nothing about it. The people not doing nothing about it. Because we can't blame government all the time. The mentality of the people needs to shift as well. But government still not do them job. And with those two combinations, a mass set of ignorant people and a government that is willing to exploit them and not care about their safety, we have the volatile situations we have right now. I want you to think about this, because this is how a lot of our youths who are supposed to be our future are being raised right now. And we are going to be lucky if half of them make it out not scarred. And we're going to be even more lucky if some of them don't perpetuate the same kind of violence they witnessed growing up on other members of the community to keep the cycle going. Next year, same thing again. Leave your comments in the comment section below. It's SouFLoTV, man. I'm out. Peace.